Hello Kent, we're back out here at the coach. This will be one of either 2 or 3 videos. I've got to split them up to 15 minutes apiece. So out here, this is our first compartment on the driver's side. In here, there's not a whole lot we need to go over, except for just a couple quick things. Right here is an air chuck. If you have a air hose with you, you could use that to inflate the tires if you needed to. The other switch up here is for the generator slide. And I'm just gonna run this out just a little bit because I just need to show you a couple things behind this. So that's probably far enough. The first thing is windshield washer fluid jug to top that off, and then the other is the generator. The reason I'm showing you this out here is because of this breaker. If we ever lose power and we're running the generator, this is where I go to look. So the other thing that is out here is another start stop button, which you have 3 of them. And again, depending on how cold it is how long we'll need to hold the button to fire the generator. And you also have an hour meter out here. And if we ran the slide all the way out, you can take this door off and see the generator engine and check the oil and everything. But I really don't think it's probably stuff you'll need to mess with there. I'll go ahead and run the generator slide back in. All right, the next bay right here is just storage, and this one is more storage, and of course the slide out trays. In here, the only thing I really wanted to touch on was this adapter you have. This is a 50 amp, which is what the coach is, to a 30 amp. Some parks only have 30 amp connections, or they only have 30 amp spots available. This adapter works great, but we can only run 1 air conditioner instead of all 3. So just remember, if we use this adapter, we can only run 1 air conditioner at a time. Go to the next bay here. And this one is where our freshwater hose is and the AquaHot system. So this is the hose that you'll want to connect to a spigot when you're at a campground. Other than that, in here is just all stuff for service. It's fine if we store some things in here. We just kind of want to keep them away from the wiring and the AquaHot. So small stuff that's not going to move around a whole lot. The water compartment. So real quick, we have our tank monitors. We have a cargo and water pump switch out here. The water pump switch is also tied to the ones inside, so you can shut it off or on out here. A light, outlet, part cable, water filter, which is for us to swap out. In here, like we talked about before, the black tank, RV toilet paper only, and chemical. And again, we want to dump it whenever it's full if we can, just so all the waste has time to break down. The gray water is to be dumped after the black water so that it rinses out the line. This small hose right here, I'm probably going to end up taking it out if it's able to. I'm trying to see here because it looks like you may have a macerator in here as well if you ever needed to use that, but for the most part we're just going to be using the big 3-inch sewer hose to dump with. You also have some low point drains, the hot and cold, and then your water heater bypass. You also have a sewer tank flusher. So we don't want to use the freshwater hose on that. You want to get a separate water hose to hook that up, just because if the check valve ever failed, it would be going back through your fresh hose. The faucet here is for our kitchen sprayer, which some people use that to rinse out the sewer hose. And we also have our city water connection and the regulator. The regulator needs to go on the spigot, then your fresh water hose we saw in the previous bay. So other than that, I think that's about it in this compartment. As we go around, aqua hot exhaust right there. If you ever fill up your freshwater tank, it's right behind this door. A lot of this stuff I think we'll be doing for you, but this is our 50 amp connection. So anytime we want to plug the motorhome in, you'll have to open this up. It's a power cord, power reel, I should say. And then that's what we'll take over to the box wherever you're parked to plug it in. And then back here in the engine bay, this is the air filter. We have the transmission fluid, oil fill, hydraulic oil, the coolant reservoir, our battery disconnect, and the hood light if you ever needed it. But other than that, I think that's about it in there. Let's see what we have back here. Back here is our fuel filters and air dryers and all that stuff. The hydraulic pump for the jacks and the chassis batteries. Gotta lock the door here. In here is just more stuff for service. So this is all stuff we don't need to bother. And this door is our house batteries. So in here were the disconnects, all 8 of the 6-volt deep cycle batteries. Each one of these, the caps can come off of, and you can check the water level in here, which right now the water level appears to be just at the bottom of the plastic lip. So this is all stuff we can keep an eye on. And then some of the slide out control boards and fuses. We got another, well actually these are just both doors on the other side of the slide trays. And this one's locked. And this one is the TV and stereo. Other than that, outside here, there's quite a bit more stuff I could go over, but I feel like it's all stuff that you don't need to worry about, that we can keep an eye on, just as far as keeping the slides lubed up and things like that. Again, something I wanted to touch on is all of the awnings that we have on this coach. We just want to make sure if it's raining or windy, or if you're not going to be around, just make sure the awnings are in, and then we won't have any problems as far as that goes. I just see so many people that don't realize it's going to be windy or what have you and leave, and then come back and all the awnings are folded up on the camper. So we just want to stay away from that. So I was trying to think real quick if there's anything else we need to touch on out here. I think most of everything that I need to go over with you is going to be on the inside. So if there's anything else I need to touch on, just let me know. We'll be inside next.